If you have cancer, there's a very real chance that a supplement you're taking to help could actually be working against the rest of your treatment. And one of the most common ones that this happens with is curcumin. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Curcumin can slow cancer growth in some situations. It fits for some situations, but it actively interferes with treatment with others. So if you're taking chemotherapy, immunotherapy, or you're just trying to support your immune system, the details of this matter more than most people realize. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through when curcumin makes sense, when it doesn't, and why the form you take can matter as much as the dose. So you can make decisions actually based on biology and clinical data, not just supplement marketing based on a single bad paper from over 25 years ago. Hello, and welcome to Elevating Cancer Treatment, where we explain the science and debunk myths to help you navigate your health journey. My background is a little different. Beyond educating about cancer, I'm actually designing new drugs that are defining the future of oncology. This direct, hands-on experience offers me a very different perspective of how these cancer treatments work on the body, interact with the cancer cells, and cause side effects. And these are insights that I'm excited to share with you. If that sounds interesting, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And please share it if you find it useful. I'm Dr. Jay Chaplin. An important reminder, I'm a PhD, not an MD. The information in this video is education, and it's not medical advice. Every cancer is unique, and no general information applies to everyone. Please remember that. Always consult with your healthcare provider for guidance on your specific situation. And two quick things. First, as a thank you for being here, I've created a free resource, 10 Things to Elevate Your Chemo Journey, which you can download from the link below. And second, by signing up, you'll also get updates on that innovative cancer treatment I'm working on. I'm confident it represents a significant advancement in immunotherapy. So please take a moment, download your free guide, and join us in shaping the future of cancer treatment. If you've been diagnosed with cancer, there's a really good chance someone, maybe a friend, maybe a family member, maybe even your own late night Google searching, has told you to take curcumin, the active compound inside the spice turmeric. Now, please stay with me, because yes, curcumin is one of those compounds that can be very beneficial, incredibly helpful in the right context. And yes, curcumin can be actively harmful in the wrong ones. Do you know which is which? If you're watching this, you're trying to make smart, informed decisions that don't interfere with your regular treatment. Maybe you're on chemotherapy or an immunotherapy or some combination of the above, and you want to make sure that they all mesh and work well together. Maybe you're concerned about reports of liver damage from taking a lot of curcumin. Those are real. Curcumin is way more complicated than people think. Because this isn't about natural equals safe, this is about biochemistry. This is about signaling pathways, how the cell decides what to do, whether to grow or not, and about context, always context. So if you're sitting there thinking, but how do I know whether any of this applies to me? That's exactly the right question to be asking. Let's start with a big problem with most curcumin supplements. Let's talk about what's actually in most of those supplements. Many turmeric or curcumin products contain a small amount of purified curcumin and a large amount of raw turmeric powder. Raw turmeric is not very potent. It's basically just fiber. To get a biologically meaningful effect from that kind of product, you would need an extremely large dose, and even then, it often doesn't work. Seriously, a person would have to consume 160 grams of dried turmeric powder. That's a third of a pound. That's not something I think anyone really wants to do, and not a great idea. So please don't do that. If you're going to use curcumin at all, you really want purified curcumin. You're looking for around 95% purity so that you can actually gauge how much is really there. And again, a high dose is absolutely necessary for it to have any benefit. We're talking about 6 or more grams per day. That's 2 grams with each meal. And it's better with food. You can go up to 8 grams per day. And you might need to ease up to that dose. So why so much? Because curcumin has a major problem. It's not very bioavailable. And what does that mean? That means it doesn't easily move from your intestines out into your bloodstream. It goes in one end, right out the other. If it doesn't get into your bloodstream, it can't be utilized by your body. It can't get to the cancer. It can't do anything. So the question you might be thinking now is, how do we actually get it into the body at levels that matter? So there's an answer, but it's not the one that you've heard. It's not piperine, the black pepper problem. So most supplement companies try to solve this by adding black pepper extract, what they call piperine. It's usually not the single molecule, it's a host of other stuff. They make sort of a piperine enhanced sludge and put it in there. You've probably seen this on labels. The claim is that piperine increases absorption. Here's the reality. That's based on one study from 1998 that showed an increase in one specific measurement using only 8 patients. Just 8 patients. And that really, only one readout, 8 patients? There's an entire sector of the supplement industry set up around a single mediocre 28-year-old paper that had 4 patients in the control group and 4 in the experimental group. I'll let you guess how I feel about the validity of that finding. Over time, that result has not replicated well, and it doesn't consistently show higher blood levels with piperine, and it does not show better retention in the body. Piperine doesn't seem to do a whole lot. What has been shown much more consistently is something different. Piperine can interfere with liver enzymes. It can disrupt drug metabolism, which is a big deal if you're on chemo. And at higher cumulative doses, it can contribute to liver toxicity. And we'll come back to this a little bit later. This is especially relevant for you if you're already on chemotherapy, taking multiple medications, or taking high-dose regular supplements on a long-term basis. So if you're thinking, I'm already dealing with enough, why add liver stress? That instinct is correct, but we can work around it if we're careful. So what actually works for absorption of curcumin? There are formulations that significantly improve absorption and keep it there in the bloodstream for longer. Those are specifically liposomal curcumin products. They use delivery systems such as Novasol, AOV, or Longvita. Those have been tested. Those formulations have been shown to increase absorption over 100-fold, yes, really, and consistently. They increase how long the curcumin stays in the bloodstream, and they decrease how much is lost in the stool, the amount that comes in and goes right out. You want to reduce that and keep it in the bloodstream, especially the Novasol. The Novasol formulations are the best of all of them at that. So it's important to note that I'm not trying to plug a particular product here. Novasol is used in a number of different products, and it's just that that technology is the clear winner at getting curcumin into the bloodstream and keeping it there. Okay? So this is important. That has been shown in human studies. That's not just from test tubes or animal models. That's not metabolism in a tube. And when these formulations are used, adding piperine on top of them does not improve things further. Doesn't make any difference. So if you're using curcumin at all, the formulation matters just as much as the dose. And that huge dose is assuming you're using the right formulation. So here's the episode where we talk about dosages with vitamins and supplements. Now, you might think, if this is so hard to get into the bloodstream, why don't we just take it by IV? And folks have tried that, particularly at integrative clinics. They make an emulsion of curcumin. Curcumin, oil, and water, shake it, and administer that straight into the bloodstream by IV. That's kind of like putting oil and vinegar salad dressing straight into your veins, and that has caused death from blocking of blood vessels. Please, 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 please do not do that. There are references for that linked down below. Now, stay with me, because even if you get the formulation and dosage right and you cut piperine out, you still have to match it to the proper type of cancer. This works for some, and it's very bad for others. So let's talk about when someone might use curcumin in the first place. It's very effective at blocking signaling from a protein called NFkB, nuclear factor kappa beta. I know that sounds Greek. There's Greek in it. That's the kappa. NFkB is a major immune and inflammation signaling hub. If your cancer's growth pathway relies heavily on NFkB signaling, curcumin can slow down the cancer cell growth. It can reduce pro-inflammatory signaling, and it can potentially enhance the effects of certain treatments, certain types of chemotherapy or targeted therapies. That can be very relevant, particularly in certain solid tumors, the ones with RAC1, RAC1, and CBL, CBL mutations. You can find those mutations listed on your genomics testing, which we discussed in this video about biomarkers. This can also be really useful, again, since NFkB is an immune system hub in immune-related cancers. Leukemias and lymphomas, this is really good for. And it's good in situations where the main treatment approach is already immunosuppressive, like most chemotherapies are. You can combine curcumin and chemo. If you're on chemotherapy that already suppresses immune activity, curcumin makes a lot of sense in that context. But curcumin can also work against you. This is the part that often gets missed. Again, NFkB is essential for immune cell activation, particularly your B cells and T cells, the T cells you're relying for on controlling your cancer. So if you are on immunotherapy in general, if you're using immune checkpoint inhibitors specifically, if you're about to receive dendritic cell vaccines, if you're actively trying to stimulate your immune function in any way, shape, or form, then curcumin directly counteracts your treatment. They're going to fight each other. In plain terms, you end up with two therapies at loggerheads with each other, and you get weaker immune activation. You get reduced treatment efficacy. They just don't work well together. You only get reduced benefit from both approaches if you take them together. So please don't take them together. You don't want neither one of them working as well. You might as well just take one or the other. Maybe sequence them in time, stage them out. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I'm on immunotherapy, should I stop curcumin? Probably, but that's a conversation you should have before supplementing in general and really walk through all of these details. When I begin working with a client, we start with an intake and go through all of their supplements and all of the drugs that they're using to make sure that they're optimizing any interactions and that support is perfect for their unique cancer. I recommend you do that with your oncologist or reach out to me. And here's another catch. There have been rare and real cases of liver injury reported with high-dose curcumin. You can do everything right and hurt your liver. Right. This seems confusing at first because curcumin has actually been shown to protect the liver. It's been shown to improve fatty liver disease. It's been shown to reduce alcohol-related liver damage. So what's going on here? How can something cause liver damage when it helps the liver? This goes back to the piperine. When you look closely, the issue does not appear to be curcumin itself. It appears to be the piperine. Remember, again, that black pepper extract impairs drug metabolism. It disrupts detoxification pathways. It interferes with conjugation and elimination from your body. Your liver can't get rid of things the way that it's supposed to. Those will build up. They'll cause toxic issues. At low doses with curcumin and piperine, this isn't a problem. You can eat black pepper all the time, but at high repeated doses, the piperine can become an issue very seriously and very rapidly. And again, piperine doesn't actually add meaningful benefit here. Yes, piperine clearly blocks many liver enzymes and provides a very short-lived increase in blood curcumin levels, but they don't last for long, and then all that curcumin is just sent right back to the intestine again to be eliminated, and with the added cost of damaging your liver in the process. It's a total bummer that once something gets discovered and makes its way out into the world, like the piperine, it doesn't get updated with newer and better information along the way. We've known for over 20 years that piperine doesn't work. It's been disproven more than 2 decades ago. But it's still in nearly every curcumin supplement, and it is not beneficial for you in any way, and it's especially bad for your liver. In an ideal world, please look for a curcumin formulation with purified curcumin using Novasol and no piperine. So here's the bottom line. Curcumin is powerful, context dependent, you gotta match it to your cancer and your treatment, and not something to take casually during cancer treatment, especially if there's piperine in it, because you can really mess yourself up. The formulation, the dose, your treatment type, and your individual biology all matter dramatically. If you want help tailoring supplements and treatment strategies to your specific cancer, your specific therapy, and your specific physiology, there is no one-size-fits-all approach here. Any generic advice you see on the internet is going to be wrong, badly wrong for someone. Don't let it be you. We're here to help you avoid supplement treatment conflicts, protect your liver and immune system, and get the best efficacy out of your treatments. We want to help you minimize side effects and make decisions grounded in real science, not just supplement marketing or internet rumors. If this video raised questions or confirmed concerns that you already had, that's a sign it's worth having a personalized conversation. There's a link to reach me down below. If this was helpful, again, please like and subscribe, share it with someone navigating cancer treatment, and if you would, leave a comment below with what you've heard about curcumin and whether you've been using it yourself. In the next video, the one that I recommend checking out, check out apigenin. It is exactly the opposite of this, because it is for those of you who are wanting to stimulate immune function. And remember, more drugs and supplements is rarely better. Better targeted information is. You want leverage, not massive quantities of random things.